Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we will discuss on how to get started and how to become a powerful country in conflict of nation World War III. So the first thing that we have to keep in mind is choosing the right country. If you don't choose the right country, then you cannot win. Like you just cannot. It is really hard. So a lot of people think like, especially beginners, like they think if the country is bigger then it is more strong. Like most of them select Russia, which is like not a good option at all, because you have a really big area to protect and you don't have enough troops for that, because most of your cities are here in the European region, and Kazakhstan and Mongolia and China can easily invade you from here, or even countries like Japan and others can invade you too. So Russia is just not a good option unless you have a lot of experience and you know what you are doing. So try to choose a country that is small and it has a lot of cities. Especially like if you go to Europe, you would see there is Poland, Germany, France, Spain. Like you can select any of these. The countries are not really big and they have a lot of cities here, as you can see. So they are a good option if you want to defend yourself or even start an attack, because you can see if you are in Europe and you are a powerful country, you can like invade all of these cities in a small area. You have less area to protect, you have more cities, you have more resources, and like this is just what you need to get started in your journey to invade the whole world. So you can choose something from Europe, and if you have the right allies you can easily expand yourself. But like if you are just surrounded by other people, you will not be able to do well. So the second thing is choosing the right allies, as we have started it. So like you can choose the country Poland, and you can have Germany, for example, as your ally. So you don't have to be, like you don't have to care about any of this area, because no one will invade you from there, because Germany is your ally, and all you have to do is like attack down here in this area, like there is Austria and Serbia. And a lot of time like there will be inactive players in Europe, like people would just like the country and they would like not play the game or anything. Like those countries are really easy to capture. So like if you have the right allies around you, you can easily win. But if you don't have good allies, and a lot of like it happens a lot of time that there are traitors or people like that would be in your coalition and they would be working for others, so you have to be careful of them. I would recommend you to go to their Discord, and in the channel that says looking for group, you should like ask there for people if someone wants to play with you, so you can like choose specific people and play with them. But although you can also play random games here. So Europe is a good option. And then if you come here in, like right now I am playing as Pakistan here, and here I am playing as Ukraine. And as you can see, I'm not active, like much active here, but I do have a lot of stuff captured here, like all of Russia and this area and a lot of Europe as well. So I had the right allies, as you can see here, Serbia and Austria. I did not have to care about all of this area, and I expanded my country towards east, and it made things really easier for me, because like they took care of most of the stuff for me and they were defending me. So that's how like you have to get started like this. After this, you need to choose the right kind of troops. So as you can see here, I just started making tanks. I did not used to have them before, but I just made them just in case, because we will be invading south. Okay, yeah, Africa is almost done for. So yeah, we would expand let's say if we want to here, we don't know what is here, and we do need tanks to have the land superiority, but I don't like use tanks that much. If you come here, you can see that over here there is one tank and there is 6 infantry, and what, like same here, one tank and 5 infantry, and I just like call the tanks. I did not even use them before. Why? Because I had air superiority. If you see here, there are 20 strike fighters here and 5 here, 1 here, and they're like everywhere. I had a lot of strike fighters because if you have the air superiority in this game, you have a higher chance of winning, because like in the starting days, let's say like you are any of these countries or like any country in the world, if you have to like attack a country, you will have to send troops. So troops are not good when you are attacking a country, because if you look at here, okay, there is, yeah, okay, I'm not even this one, hold on a second. Yes, this one is here inside a city, and you can see incoming damage reduced by 25%. So when you have infantry attacking here, you would need a lot of it, and you would suffer a lot of casualties, and you would have to like spend a lot of resources on them. So what I do is I have a lot of strike fighters here that I use to attack the cities. Like everything that I have captured so far was used by, like I use strike fighters to capture all of this. All of, let me show you. Yeah, all of this area, the black area, all of it was conquered using strike fighters, and I did not like lose almost any infantry while conquering the upper part, but I had to still like lose a lot of them because the enemy had good anti-air defense system here. So I had a lot of trouble with it, and I just had to in the end get some tanks here and to fight against them. But overall, till the day 40, I did not have any trouble fighting against anyone because I had strike fighters. Like I attacked the countries and troops with strike fighters instead of using my infantry. So I would clear a city with my strike fighters, then I would send my troops to capture the area. So if you have strike fighters, you can like literally dominate everything. So let's say you have a strike fighter and the enemy makes SAM and anything like that, because if you come here in sport, although almost no one makes these in the starting days at least, like if someone even does it, he is either an experienced player or he will make it when he realizes that he cannot stand your strike fighters. So in the beginning days, forget about SAM launcher because army based level 3, and then it's also pretty expensive for starting countries. And also this one, it is not that expensive, but honestly literally no one makes it. So if you make strike fighters since the beginning, like if you focus on air superiority, you would be easily conquering other like nations. It would not be hard for you. So here, as you can see, I have researched the all of the strike fighters till the best one. So let's say the enemy has SAM launchers. What would you do? In that case, you would have to like send ground troops to attack them, because the jet would not be good against them, because they would cause the SAM launcher would cause a lot of damage to them. And let's say that, forget about SAM launchers, let's say if the enemy has these air superiority fighters, so what would you do? The best thing to do here would be either use air superiority fighter against them, or if the enemy is sending them to your area, or you know where the enemy would send the air superiority fighters, you can send SAM launchers there, or in some cases, like you can, there is also a good option that you can use missiles against enemies enemies air superiority fighter, because if you have missiles, that the air superiority fighter cannot do anything against it, because it does not have any defense or attack against a cruise missile or ballistic missile. So what, let me show you how much damage does a missile do to it. So here, let me just launch one in the air. You can see the HP is almost 25. For this one, it is not 25, it is 22. So each missile can do a damage of 45. So like if you have like 4 of them, for 4 cruise missile, you can kill a whole stack of enemy air superiority fighter, and then you again have dominance over the air. After air superiority, you would need naval superiority, and you don't need much here, because naval warfare is not that common for land countries unless you are Japan or anything like that, because if you are Japan, then you would have to, you are surrounded by ocean and you just need navy to defend yourself. We will discuss on how to defend the country later on, but for now, if you see a navy, then the thing you have to research is a corvette in the beginning to just defend your shores or your coastal cities if you have any from incoming enemy, and then slowly you can also search frigate if you are much into a naval warfare. If you want to attack the enemy, frigates are good against jets. So here you can see it causes 6 damage to fighter aircraft, bombers, or anything like that. And here I research cruiser because it is the best ship against other ships. Here you can see it does 10 damage to other vessels, and it has a lot of hit points, like 50 hit points here. So cruiser is also a good option. And if you research naval strike fighters or air superiority fighter, for example, saying that you are a country in America, any of America, North America or South America, and you want to attack a country like somewhere over here, let's say Japan, then if you don't have an ally here, you would not have an airbase here to launch the invasion. So if you don't have an ally like in Asia, Africa, or anywhere, and you want to expand yourself here, then you would need to research and focus on naval air superiority fighter and naval strike fighter since the first day. And from here, you have to research this one, aircraft carrier. I did not research it because I did not need it in this game, but I did use it in a lot of games, especially when I was Japan. I used it to expand myself and have dominance over naval over the seas. So, and also another thing about these naval strike fighters here, you can see they do a lot of damage to ships. It is 5 damage, and this one does only 2. So if you research naval strike fighters, they are good against ships as well as ground targets. So this is also a preferred method that you can use. So if you have the air superiority, you have the naval superiority, you can easily defend yourself or launch an invasion against someone else. So yeah, here I am using the cruiser to a task force to defend my homeland cities like Karachi and Hyderabad, because the enemy can enter from here. But I have this one here, and as I told you before, I have chosen a good country. So I have like a less area to defend, and I have more of the troops. So yeah, and then if you come here, here I will show you that I am using cruiser to launch an invasion. Apparently there were like 3 of them, but they were destroyed after destroying like most of the enemy fleets, because they did not have a good navy. They had corvettes and destroyers, so the cruiser did well against them. Also, last but not least thing that you have to focus on are missiles, because if you ever feel stuck somewhere, as I did over here, because the enemy had amphibious combat vehicles, I will show you this one on max level. Here you can see it does 3 damage to the jets, and they also had mechanized infantry, and the one below this, so they do a lot of damage to the jets. So I had to use, like, they did not have protection against missile, they cannot do anything against them, so I had to use missiles against them. Like here, if you can see, yes, here I had to launch like 5 of them and then one last strike, and they took care of the enemy here at Arda. So if you have naval superiority, you have air superiority, and you have missiles, you can literally do whatever you want and achieve whatever you want.